God, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise to Yahweh,
Abu
Bahashim,
Bashim
Yahushai, Bahashim,
Bashim
Rakakadash.
Bashim Bashim.
We want to give double honors to our apostles, Elder Great Millstone. I also want to say shalom to all the Akim out there, preaching his truth. We're the brothers from the gym, it's Miami. The Heralds of Yahushai, 144 camp. I'm the brother Tazwan Kabar here with the brother.
Hakum.
All right, we're back with another video through the spirit. I want to do is edifying. Before I start the video, we want to touch on the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Starting with the Heavenly Father, who they so-called called God. His true name is Yahweh. That was His name means He is, He exists, and the true name of His Son, with the world in called Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos in Spanish, or Jesus Green in Haitian Creole. His true name is Yahweh Shai. That which His name means He saves, He delivers. He's soon about to do according to prophecy. Today's topic, as you can see, is going to be called shortages and empty shells coming to Babylon. All right, if you're not living under the rock and actually paying attention to the news, you'll see what's going on as an effect of these hyper terrorists. I call it hyper terrorists that's going on within the world, all right, especially against America and China. They're going back and forth, and that's leading to disruption. It's going to lead to the disruption of the food chain, and not only just the food chain, but all forms of industries. All right, because China plays a big part in our imports and our exports. Henceforth, why is that? Is because a lot of these people from America, they wanted to do cheap labor and things of that sort, and have things made overseas. Now that's backfiring right now, as far as Trump's implementing the tariffs, because right, a lot of these things that we own, or things that that directly or indirectly, I'll say indirectly or directly affects us, are formed in China or made in China. All right, when you spark up the price, that leads to the disruption and the cost of things to be more expensive, or the cost of things not be able to be bought, are leading to empty shelves and things of that sort. And that's what we're seeing right now in the news. Okay, a lot of sources are complaining that it's going to be real soon that a lot of these shelves are going to be empty, and there's going to be a little scarcity of food, scarcity of supplies, and all things forced to come as a result of these things. But you got it, brother.
On. Yeah, man. Like you said, all right. This is prophecy that's coming to Babylon the Great, which is America. All right. It's not just also these tariffs. All right. It's also Trump implementing a new law that he wants these truckers, all right, the truckers, to only speak English proficiently. All right, so that's gonna actually lay off a lot of these other truckers that don't really speak the language, because a lot of these truckers, man, that you see driving down the street, all right, they don't really speak English proficiently. All right, so what this is gonna do, all right, this is actually gonna halt a lot of goods, a lot of services, okay, a lot of food, all right, your water, your eggs, your daily needs, okay, your fruits, your vegetables, everything from A to Z. All right, there's going to be shortages, all right, not just the food, but also the buzz going into the different industries, all right, your clothes, your shoes, all right. When you look at everything that's around you, when you look behind it, it says what? Made in China. All right, so hey man, this is part of the prophecy, and this is what's gonna happen in Babylon the Great. And all right, this is signs that we at the end, man. But you got it, brother.
All right. And this is what the brother is saying, this is part of prophecy. All right, famine, because these certain things are linked to famine, food and water, meaning the scarcity of food and water. And that's part of prophecy. All right. And seeing these things, these things you should be moved into see Yahweh Shai. All right, because when there's a scarcity of food and water, that's when people lose their common sense, in a sense. All right. I'm gonna get second address real quick. Let's talk about the scourges for a minute. Philippians 16. Yep. It was the second to 16, verse 17. It says, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? All right. Edris was able to see or have a dream about the times to come real soon. I said, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? I just understand that he was going to be back here in his lot today, and and he was in that woe is me spirit, who's going to protect me, which we all understand through spirit fire. The Lord is going to come forth for his men and provide in all forms of ways. All right, but going back to what's going on, the famine. It said famine and great death, the beginning of wars. Okay, let's start with that point, famine. All right, these things are disrupting the supply chain. All right, once you start disrupting the supply chain, things are not getting to the stores. If things are not getting to the stores, we're lacking goods. Okay, you're lacking goods, you're lacking food and water, the necessities of life. All right, this is going to cause people to lose their senses and start acting beast-like, which they're already beasts themselves, but acting more beast-like. And it says great wars. All right, the ultimate war will be World War III, but one of these titles they got going on right now is the trade war. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's good to pay attention to, because that do also play a hand in that. And the brother talking about the trucking thing, man. Okay, but it says the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Meaning bad times. Yeah, all right. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a moment. Right, these things are sent for you niggers, all right, so-called niggers, Latino Native Americans, could turn back to Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, but you got it, brother.
Con, that's right. I did wanted to. You want me to get the article now, or just go through some more precepts and then pull up the article?
You good?
I didn't. Yeah, there was a lag. Do you want to get the article now, or you want to get it later?
I got it.
You gonna get it? Or you want me to get it? Okay, hold on. Let me add it to stage. There you go.
Now I'm gonna get it. I did the share screen thing real quick.
Con, yeah, I saw it. It's lucky. Yeah, I see it.
Con. There we go. It says product shortages and empty store shelves loom with falling, or that might be saying, well, failing shipments from China. Businesses have been canceling orders for products from China after Trump imposed a 145% tariff on most Chinese imports, risking product shortages for American consumers. Okay. We could see these things happening. Me and the brother work in industries as far as that deal with the ports and in inbound, outbounds, and exports and imports in a sense, and we're seeing these things live hand, and it's touching right to what they can spend.
Mm-hmm.
Retailers are warning that U.S. consumers could once again be faced with empty store shelves and the kind of supply chain snarls that marked the COVID era President Donald Trump's tariffs on China remain at their current levels. All right, and why? Well, what Trump is trying to do is be, aka that hammer, okay, using America or being that hammer across the earth, trying to bully his way into leadership and power.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Is it
right.
not?
Yeah, I got a precept if I may.
It's gone to over now.
There's a little lag. There's a little lag here still. But I could get that signature 6. So like it to the viewers, man. We got some lag issues going on here. We got Satan trying to mess with the live feed here. Okay, so this is our second measure 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, read that again. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and we just read right now in that article how they were saying how there's going to be empty shelves. All right, so empty shelves are looming in Babylon the Great. Okay, so this is the prophecy that we see happening in real time. Okay, and this is all what this is all leading to. All right, is the MOTB. All prophecies lead to the MOTB. All right, but what Esau needs is a catalyst. All right, Esau needs a black swan event so they could introduce this solution. Okay, so this is not far-fetched. All right, this is scriptures, this is prophecy, and this is gonna be happening. All right, we already see it ramping up. And hey, man, like me and the brother was going into how this is gonna be a cold summer. All right, so hey, that's why we got to go, turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because hey, we have no idea how the Lord's gonna shake this place up. Okay, we're just the messengers of the Lord, and we're telling our people that these are the things that's gonna come to pass. All right, so your Publix, all right, your Kroger's, your Aldi's, your Targets, okay, your Walmarts, every single retailer, all right, is gonna start having shortages, all right, this is gonna cause a lot of madness, a lot of panicking, a lot of panic buying is about to happen very soon. Okay, and me and the brother, all right, we work in the import export business, and my job, we're not getting anything coming from China, all right, because all the ports from China, all right, they're not moving. There's nothing moving. There's nothing coming inside the country from China. All right, so what we see right now, all right, get ready to see a lot of these empty shelves, man. Thus said the Lord, okay, because this is prophecy. All right, but you got it, brother.
All right, what the brother says on point. It's part of prophecies. Okay. All right, we understand that the Lord has certain things that are going to play out. All right, and he's going to have it play out in all types of forms of ways. What we're seeing is the moving to the tone of prophecy. All right, what we do is what Scripture say: measured out the times diligently. We dissect these articles, these videos, these shows, and things of that sort to see how it aligns with the scriptures. And this thing right here perfectly aligns, like what the brother's saying, man. All right, he's trying to create a chaotic event. All right, so he could implement his MOTB as a solution. And also, too, knowing that he's this to trying to control the population and try to control, humankind. Okay, right, drawing back the food, but we know our hands are in the, our hands and trust are in Yabashimashai. All right, well,
Actually, I had a little bit more on that second Ezra 6.
try to get it preset. Well, matter of fact, this thing go slow. It's a second Ezra's non-digitally in itself, and when thou is part of the science past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's a very high time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we see, all right, the Lord visiting the world in all forms of ways. All right, part of these things that is prophesied to happen in is happening. And that's the part about Shemashai and famine. All right, it's famine of the word, but that's going to happen too. But also, it's going to be actual famine in the sense of the scarcity of food and water. And seeing these, we're measuring the times. All right, we're seeing what's going on. We're taking heed and keeping close onto Yahweh Messiah and warning our people. Because things like this, we understand it's going to get worse. All right, but the more it get worse, the more you want to keep onto Yahweh Messiah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing slagging Satan this. That's wild.
You know what? I'm gonna send you a message on IG right now.
You got any like presets you could bring y'all? I probably want to say a couple of things. You probably just end it off. This thing is lagging.
Yeah. I can bring out second Ezra's 15. Okay. Second Ezra's 15. I'm gonna start at verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, and men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So your neighbors, all right, man. All right. This is the times that we're coming into where neighbors, they're gonna start trying to break into your homes because they're trying to feed their family, or they're missing medicine to crucial medicine for the family members. Okay, the neighbor that you've been living next to for 20, 30, 10, 15 plus years, whatever the case may be, all right, he's going to become your enemy. All right, just how it says in 2nd Ezra 6, all right, it says they're going to be fighting like enemies. All right, so this is the times that we into, man. This is the times that we into because the Lord is about to shake things up in Babylon, man. The Lord is about to shake things up here to the point where if you're not right, then Yahweh Shimei Shai, all right, you're in the sights of judgment. All right, the Lord is going to bring heavy judgment in America, man. All right, because all this is leading to what the MOT that we was going into. I got another one here, Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beings, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay, so let me so that's how much is going to cost, right, for a piece of bread. Okay, a penny, which is a day's wage. All right, so for you to get a piece of bread, it's like you're gonna have to work a whole day because of how crucial and how valuable food is going to be. All right, so we see it happening in real time right now. We see it happening. Okay, and this is the times that we in. All right, this is the reality of it. All right, but the men of Yahweh Shem Shai, they're gonna be protected. All right, the Lord's gonna feed and shelter and protect. All right, His elect. Okay, that's why we bring this message out,
Right.
so it could move our people to repentance. Okay, but you got it, brother.
Right. You see, like a lot of people, like this water bottle right here. A lot of people are not gonna be able to get, not gonna be able to, to find some in the times we're about to get into. All right, but Scripture said in what death and famine thou shalt laugh. All right, we're gonna be, great. Because why we made our heads or our minds to be set upon Yahweh Shema Shai, so we could avoid these certain things. When I mean avoid, I mean that the Lord's gonna allow us to pass through in a sense where we're still okay and we're still being fed, we're still lively. All right, because we get into some times where people's stomach, I like to say this, people's stomach is going to start touching their faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, evil times, bad times. I should say, for many great measures shall be done to them in a lot of time because they dwelled in great pride. A lot of our people, especially our people, the so-called niggas, Latino, Native Americans, are going to have to go through these certain things, aka Jacob trouble, because they walk in great pride. Okay, and it's good to talk about how I'm paraphrasing, it's worse to die by hunger. Okay, because your flesh or your inside start eating itself to get energy and preserve itself. If you understand that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why, if I may add, cannibalism is gonna be running rampant. It's gonna be a regular thing. All right, to see a half-eaten body or a corpse on the floor or people eating corpse. All right,
Mm-hmm.
This is what's gonna be reality. Okay, and this is not anything new. All right, in the Book of Kings, it tells you how there was cannibalism. All right, so cannibalism is coming. Okay, it's gonna be on your front doorstep. All right, but this is the judgment that's coming to Babylon the Great, man, because this place is wicked. This is all because of the wickedness of society. All right, this is why the Lord is judging Babylon, man. There's a reason why the Lord is putting the spirit upon Donald Trump to do all these things, man. This is not of Donald Trump's own self. All right, this is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the God of the heavens and the God of earth, man. Okay, and when these things do come to pass, all right, then shall they know that a prophet was amongst them, man. Because we just prophesy, we just saying it before, we just prophesying. Mm-hmm. Shit, I got a Jeremiah 15, or if you want to bring it out, then most likely, if you got no more precepts, we could probably end with that because the lag is kind of crazy right now. You want to finish off with that Jeremiah 15 if you want, but you got it. Or we just end right here.
Yeah, you got it. This thing keep lagging.
Come on, all right.
It's gonna sound like a robot a little bit. God, you got it, bro.
Come on, Jeremiah 15. We'll start at verse 1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward these people. Who's that's talking about? The Israelites, all right, what you would call today the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American people. Cast them away out of my sight and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass as they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine. All right, what are we talking about? Famine. Okay, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. Okay, so this is the judgment that's coming to Babylon the Great, man. All right, because this message, all right, has been being heralded, through all four corners of the earth, nonstop. Okay, and through the Spirit, all right, the elect are almost finished being sealed. Okay, so when the Lord brings these judgments, man, all right, this is going to be righteous judgment. All right, that's going to happen. Death, famine, the sword, destruction. All right, diseases, plagues. Okay, because why? Because of the wickedness of this society, man, and because the Lord said this is prophecy. All right, and that's why Donald Trump. That's why he's he already implemented laws on martial law, because he knows what's going to come. He knows what's going to happen in America when there's nothing on the shelves, and when there's no food, when there's no water, when there's no eggs, when babies are crying, when your daughter and your son is crying because, all right, they can't eat no damn Lunchables. All right, when you start seeing the ribs show through their body. Okay, but this is the prophecy of the Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, but the elect, the Lord got them. The Lord gonna take care of his elect, man. All right, that's why we continue to strive for Yahweh Shema Shai, man, so the Lord could keep us during these times. Okay, because these 2/3 of our people and these other heathens, all right, they're gonna be hopeless, but the elect, they're going to be hopeful. All right, and that's the beauty and that's the promise of the Lord, and that's why we continue to put our trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. But that's it, brother. You got it.
That's right. All right, because it say take no thought for tomorrow. All right, the elect is gonna have their whole heart and faith in the hands of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Yeah, the elect is gonna have to go through this. Yeah, the elect is gonna have to see these things, but we know through Spirit by Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord gonna take care of it. All right, the Lord already take care of us now. All right, you read that Matthew chapter 6. The Lord take care of the animals, the flowers, and so about them. How about us? Okay. Yeah, we see these playing out. Hey, we're not to be in spirit of fear, but more in the spirit of the Lord got us. Or the Lord gave us the scriptures for comfort, and let us be comforted, and let the Lord work his miracles in times of, especially in times of famine. Okay. But that's all. You had any more you wanted to say?
Oh no, that's it, brother. We can close out, I guess.
Kind of. There's a crazy man video very night, man. This thing is lagging, but saying it's called to wow. A low one of the videos ever find for the phone to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua. Want to give double honors to our apostles and elder great millstone. Also say shalom to all the icon out there. If it is true, now to sincerity, say shalom. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.